like this is very obvious alongside of TF as well. It's really good, and we're so surprised that they banned Renekton over Camille.
You'd be super psyched. You'd be psyched to have Renekton in the top lane if you were DRX. Because then you just get to comfortably scale, and then, you know...
And maybe they're thinking too much about their own composition, and they're like, well, we really want to get Wukong here, so we don't want to play against Renekton. But, like, you're giving them something better.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about the one-on-one matchup? You're also not going to have a great time later on. Yes, the Wukong is going to have some fun stuff happening in team fights, but are DAMWON ever going to fight a team fight?
They shouldn't. They're not going to have a lot of. They're not going to have a lot of wave clear with the 3 portion of the 1-3-1. Ghost not exactly the highest range, but should still be fine clearing wave after wave. DRX are going to have to be pretty careful with where they decide to go for their fights, because yeah, as the game goes on, I don't know who's going to be able to match the Camille. Certainly not any single person on the side of DRX unless they get themselves very ahead. But that's not the kind of comp that they've built up for themselves. It's the Aphelios, Azir. Even Wukong scales very well. Lanes pretty well as well. Wukong, pretty good champion, let's be real. But this comp out of DAMWON, if played correctly, will be very oppressive.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just, you know, going head first into DRX, they can have a lot of trouble because they're up against the Aphelios. Let's say the Solar Flare goes wide. Let's say a couple of abilities miss. Deft could definitely carry this in a 5v5, but if DAMWON play to their strengths and they do not try to fight 5v5 directly into what DRX have, they do have a lot of power there. So it's going to be one of these game 3s where we have very different kind of team compositions. We just have to see who's going to play the smarter League of Legends.
Exactly right. As we have a look at some of the rune choices, Pyosik going to press the attack on his jungle Volibear. He's a policeman as well, just making sure that no one is stepping out of line. Doran up there towards the top side against Nuguri. This will be an interesting matchup. Grasp of the Undying to come through just to help out the early game for the Camille. We'll see whether Doran is going to be able to outplay Nuguri's Camille here. I feel like decoys are very important in this matchup. If you can eat a second E, then you're going to be feeling pretty comfortable. Anyway, bottom side of the map, Tahm Kench is back. Timothy Kenchins, if you will, alongside this Aphelios. And Deft is going to have to make us a believer again, because his game 2 left quite a lot to be desired. Out of position, not hitting his skill shots, and yeah. Making Aphelios look balanced is sometimes very difficult, but Deft did so quite comfortably.
Yeah. It had a lot to do with the really fed Ashe Zoe.
Yeah.
It's like, you're never coming near either of those champions, but, you know, as we were talking about before, he's going to have a much easier time dealing with champions that are going to be right in his face. Hello. Here's Canyon level 2.
Yep, Chovy going to flash already. Q's going to land. Canyon not going to cast the Resonating Strike. Chovy just has to give his flash away at 2 minutes time into the game.
A little zoom in on the ward there.
Yeah, cool ward.
Yeah. He was able to hop the wall with that one, of course, so he avoided the one.
Avoided the vision, that's it.
And he is going to get behind on clear on the Volibear, of course, but the flash is definitely something that he can return to. This is definitely a very, you know, aggressive way to play Lee Sin, rather than just, you know, clear your whole jungle, maybe be a little bit slower than a Volibear, and then hope to get something done around level 5, level 6. This is like, I'm going to force flashes, look to return, look to set up ganks in the future, and try to get my laners ahead very early on. It's kind of the way that the LPL likes to play, and Ken is going to try to channel that here. He's played 2 games of Lee Sin already. He's on his 3rd game in a row. I feel like he has been slowly getting a bit more consistent.
Yeah, and his last series was fantastic on the Lee Sin as well. I do like his aggression that he does put down. So many of our teams have, like you say, taken a few leaves out of the old LPL book. There's ShowMaker already roaming into the river. Some visions, and have played not quite long enough. Need a bigger sword, I think. It's Ghost finds a Ren stack onto Deft with a Pierce, and this lane is going to equalize. So 3 CS in the lead on Ghost side as Nuguri, unsurprisingly, to be perfectly honest, is winning this matchup. As Doran goes in for a bit of a trade, holds on to his decoy, and answers back quite nicely.
See that Chovy is not going to have nearly the amount of lane pressure that he would have had with that summoner available. And Canyon's kind of, you know, hanging around like a shark. He's always waiting, but lane's going to be pushed in just now. He'll go over and take his Scuttle Crab.
There's the Zenith Blade, stunned down onto Keria here as Onslaught comes through. Deft finds a bit of damage. DRX are going to win that trade. Devour, pretty cool ability, but Zenith Blade going to be up a little bit sooner. Should have a little bit of extra power as Nuguri finds big old shield with his passive and pushes this wave all the way into the Wukong.
Yeah. And you could see that Pyosik was able to get back. He was able to pick up some of that jungle item and just get right back into clearing. He's not concerned with attacking any lanes or anything like that. He only wants to farm here, get some items and some levels. The Lee Sin only now going back compared to Volibear, who is taking his Wolves, the second camp, after he already went back. So there's the difference maker we talked about and the trade that you make, essentially directly for Chovy's flash. And we'll see if maybe they can use that kind of priority in the jungle to pick up this first Drake. You see a decent amount of vision around the river so far for DAMWON here, with BeryL going very deep in.
Actually, Scry's Bloom comes out and BeryL doesn't spot the Volibear. His camp's not going to be available in a little while. As we have a look at ShowMaker's XP bar halfway towards level 6. A very important time as Nuguri's just chilling out underneath Doran's turret. Not exactly an expected result from this particular lane, but Nuguri is playing it very, very well so far. 44 CS to 36. And this only gets worse, guys. It does not get better.
Yeah. The Camille is slowly going to have more and more fun in that side lane. And that's what we were talking about, where he is going to have his power. And it's Nuguri on the champion, too, which is always going to be pretty terrifying. The Volibear, after taking the Raptors for the second time, he's just slowly making his way up to the top side, maybe trying to help out that lane a little bit. And Canyon is going to take this opportunity to go ahead and take the dragon down.
Another Zenith Blade comes in as the Eclipse keeps BeryL alive. Ghost still at full health. Keria taken down to half. And basically, every time that Zenith Blade comes off cooldown, as soon as BeryL lands it, he gets the cooldown on the Devour. This Pyosik doesn't have level 6, so he's not going to be able to turn off the turret. Doran has his Cyclone available. See whether this gank can actually work. This could be huge for DRX, to be perfectly honest. They need some sort of advantage. Doran just walks up and loses a trade. Pyosik.
Yeah, he's got some health pots, and Chovy here able to push in the wave. Maybe they can do 3-on-1, 3-on-2. But it is TF, so this is kind of dangerous for DRX. I think it's kind of obvious this is happening, too.
Yeah, Hextech Ultimatum going to be available as well, so a lot of funny business here for Nuguri as Pyosik is well and truly dead, and they're not going to be able to get a kill back. ShowMaker just flashes himself out, and that's what we call a whoopsie here in the business.
Yeah, it did feel very forced from DRX. You know, you were talking about Pyosik's not quite level 6. The dive was not super clean. Now they're trying to get on top of Doran here with a TP.
Yep, teleport is going to come through. Gold card.
Chovy's running away.
Yeah, ShowMaker holds onto a great sidestep there from Doran as Nuguri wants to try and get himself something, but it is just Lee Sin walking into turret range and dying, which is a bit of a problem. Is going to make it a 1-for-1 in the end, but still overall a victory for DAMWON.
Yeah, for sure they're able to run him down that lane. At the end of the day, Nuguri is able to sit in front of his turret. He has a bit of a freeze setup. I would love to see if he's actually doing it. And it does look like he's got that kind of held there right in front of his turret. But again, would need to confirm. Still about 1,000 gold lead. We're going to take a look at the dive once again. See that Canyon is already here, and it's TF. So it's about to be 3-on-3 right away. And they're not able to burst on anyone. You can see Chovy immediately is like, okay, we got to turn on the ShowMaker. And the knock-up, the second one comes on the ShowMaker. But he just flashes away, and it's an easy 1-for-0 under the turret. And then they reach for a little bit more. You can see that Chovy just kind of abandons him, says either you get out or, you know, maybe you can trade a kill, but I'm not really going to help out here. And says, I would like to prioritize my lane positioning instead. Nice play by Doran to pick up the kill, the follow-up. As now DAMWON are trying to get on top of this Rift Herald, but DRX are saying absolutely not. This is
taking
not
Shelly
yours.
for a walk by the looks of things. No one on the bottom side. Actually, Ghost is here over the wall. Pyosik going to start off. Shelly once again. ShowMaker taking a bit of damage from Chovy. 4 members underneath this outer turret in mid lane. As this could just be a 4v4. Everyone on top of that control ward. Q is going to go wide. Nuguri down as well. The monkey still in his lane. So DRX are going to be pushed out for the minute. As okay, Chovy looking for it. Does find the Empress Divide over the wall. ShowMaker should be dead here. Keria could be in trouble, but the Devourer is brilliant. Onto Chovy, flashes out of the way of the Solar Flare, and now BeryL could be in trouble. There's a Moonlight Vigil that lands. Thank you very much, Deft, for showing that that can happen. This wave is going to head towards this turret, and DRX find themselves a victory.
Yep, that's the Chovy potential. He's able to get in there. He says, well, ShowMaker doesn't have flash. So if he's going to be right up against the wall here, I can just scoop him up to my team and get out very easily afterwards by flashing. So flash difference, Chovy identifying the play. He's able to scoop that one in as Camille is okay.
What's a bottom lane, by the way? I don't like bottom lanes here. Not a big fan as Deft picks up his Draven and Kog'Maw. We'll take them towards Shelly once again. Canyon started it up. ShowMaker is back down here. A lot of vision available here for DRX. As Keria's on a bit of a walk. There's the kick flash. Keria could be in trouble. Can eat the grey health though, as now they're turning it onto Canyon. In goes Doran, finds the Cyclone, gets a really nice knock-up as Keria is still saving the rest of his team on like no health right now. And that's in fact the case of everyone on DRX. Deft now gets himself out of this brush. Severum doing so much work. The flash forward from Deft. And Calibrum at exactly the right time and nails the Q. And now BeryL at about 0. Keria pops the stopwatch wildcards. Not quite enough. And there are just no health bars on anyone. Another Zenith Blade is going to go wide. This could just be a pentakill for Nuguri. Finds one, finds 2. ShowMaker's still walking behind turrets. DRX still have a slight man advantage as all that shield came in at exactly the right time for Pyosik. Again, the yakety sack Valdez, but it's exciting.
I don't know, Nuguri. This looks dangerous. He's got Canyon nearby, though. Might have just wanted to stop some backs and try to secure the Rift Herald. At the end of the day, it did look pretty good for DRX that they were able to hold on for this long. And now they're going to lose their own share of minions down here on the bottom side as nobody cares about the bottom lane. We've only cut it off to this little triangle up here around Shelly. And it is going to be a big pickup for DAMWON. More kills going the way of DRX, but a big pickup going the way of DAMWON in the Shelly. And also, their split pushing Camille is kind of getting out of control already. 2-0 and 2. And they're even going to try to maybe go for this. They're going to take down the Scuttle Crab. It doesn't look like Lee Sin is nearby, so they're not going to take the Dragon just yet. But they may want to try to delay it here.
Right, Doran's starting to win a few trades. He got a couple of kills in that fight as well, so Nuguri not as far ahead, and also hasn't been back in a while. Now looking for that back timing where he can. As we're going to have a look at this once again. Take us through it, Valdez.
Well, actually we have a fight here. Doran's just going to die.
Never mind, I was like settling back, ready for that one. As there's a kickback onto Chovy, who's now finding himself in a pretty rough scenario, but Sand Soldier's come up, and now he's looking for the fight. There's the Emperor's Divide, lands onto 2, but he's dead. And DAMWON are going to be able to grab the 2-for-1 special that's available on Summoner's Rift here today. Another Moonlight Vigil is going to go completely wide. BeryL should be going down, but no. Fate's Call comes in. Solar Flare lands onto Keria. BeryL's in a bit of trouble. Ghost taking a lot of damage as well as Deft. Should be able to get a double kill underneath this turret, but another Q is going to go wide. Now Pyosik sitting on about 200 health, wanting to try and get one. Nuguri's dead on the top side. Take it away.
Here comes ShowMaker.
Yeah, ShowMaker's double kill, walking around in front of him here. Still feels like it's a dicey play. That minion wave going to be there. Yeah. And Deft is still pretty comfortable.
We were talking about some of the scary members of DAMWON. Take a look at Deft right now. 3-0 and 2. Infinity Edge up against a lot of people that are going to be looking to get in his face. This guy has the potential to single-handedly carry if DAMWON do play into DRX's comp here. And he's able to pick up a nice amount of extra gold down on the bottom side at the same time. Love to see the solo kill up on the top side. Nuguri has flash, so...
Yeah, I don't know what happened there at all.
Yeah.
I think we will get a replay of that one, as we've been denied a few replays. Just a little bit too much excitement that's happening here this game. 15 kills in 14 minutes will do that. Because we're expecting a bloody game, but my God, this series has been insane. DAMWON here do have position around this Drake, but there is vision up. Nuguri might have been greeting for the turret, perhaps?
That sounds like a Nuguri thing to do.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's what happened, because he died pretty close, you know, as if he had just been dogged down after going for that play. As here it comes again.
Yep, and the Destiny is going to be the follow-up there as well. So revenge onto Doran is likely to occur right here. And yeah, I don't think there's going to be anywhere he can go. There's only so many decoys he can have. Nimbus Strike was pretty good there, just to make sure that they had to take as much time as possible, and DRX utilized it to take their first Drake of the game. Infernal Soul once again. Certainly fits the theme of this particular game. DRX currently down by about 1,000 gold. They have a comp that's very happy to scale, assuming DAMWON can't just split the map completely.
Yeah. Azir Aphelios, obviously friends in scaling. They're still gonna have to deal with Camille, but we'll have to wait and see how that does develop here in this game. Nuguri is really trying to push the issue early on. A lot of focus by DRX around that one Ocean Drake does mean that after the kill, there's no one really to cover for the turret up on the top side, as this is what happened on the kill.
All right, that'll do it.
Yeah, just not respecting the range with the flash that the Wukong can get on top of you, as there was another kill.
Is that once again Wukong underneath the turret that's about to die, still walking up to the turret and dying? Did he just do the same thing twice in a row? We'll need to check in on. Oh my God! Literally exactly the same thing happened again.
And this time it wasn't TF, it was just the cannon is just like hanging around. He's like, oh, I guess all right, I guess I'll pick up a kill.
That looked like tilt.
He's having a rough time. He's died 4 times. It's double the next player on his team. And it has been difficult. I mean, there's been a lot of fighting around the top lane, so he has been the one guy that kind of gets punished for it. You can remember they followed up after the dive as well for the first kill onto Doran.
Worrying time here for the Wukong. He now has a very long lane to deal with. Nuguri is going to be taking his Krug camp because he didn't have anything to do, because the wave is on the side of DRX. I think there's something that you can do that can keep the wave on your side of the map.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never heard of it, actually.
Okay. There was something.
It's summer.
Ah, right. Yeah, it's too
Maybe warm. It was like Forza? I think someone was mistakenly talking about a different sport, but
yeah. I think you have to heat the wave. Yeah, well, you have to microwave the minions before they come down. I think it's something like that.
Yeah, you burn them into the ground as fast as possible.
Yeah,
I think it's something like that.
Oh, right. I mean, that's what we see everyone doing, so
yeah.
It must be the right thing to do. As Doran does have another wave here. Yeah, see, he's burning it. Burning, burning, burning.
Yeah, he's doing a good job with that fire circle item that he's got. Yeah, great job.
It is it's like almost impossible to freeze, to be honest, with a Tiamat, but could have tried a little bit harder than that. Pyosik's going to face check. There's a good Zenith blade as immediately Pyosik ults out and then walks back in, because you may as well. He's a big old bear. And now Canyon looking for more. Nuguri still towards the top side, and Doran's going to be drawn back. Teleport up for Nuguri, down for Doran. 2 minutes until the Infernal Drake, and that will be the next time we'll have a big fight to contend with.
Yeah. Really all DAMWON want to do here is just wait it out, let Nuguri's doing his split pushing, and see if you can potentially, you know, get a bunch of damage down. Nuguri's up 2 levels, by the way, on Doran, so if it did come down to a teleport play, yes, the knockup could be good from Doran, but Nuguri does offer a lot. He's must be very close to that death stance. Would imagine he gets it here after the objective.
Yep, Shirley going to go down. Rift Scuttler should be coming in next for a little bit of that extra gold. And then Nuguri might be exactly there. That death stance. Oh, the cash into the Cull coming through as well. This is a huge Camille.
Yeah, he's kind of out of control right now. And not only him, I mean, ShowMaker has also been doing a nice job of farming up. He's 2-1-3. He's looking to get that Lich Bane. There it is. He's got a stopwatch too. This is a really nice time for TF to fight. Even the 3 stacks on his Dark Seal. Death's Dance finish here for Camille. Deft is still incredibly scary. If they can, if they can somehow protect him, there is still a way for DRX to win this upcoming fight. As Nuguri is not going to run down to the Infernal Drake. He's just going to go ahead and continue split pushing. This does mean that Doran will have a lot of value if a team fight is forced and Nuguri can't get there on time.
Yeah, ulti's still 40 seconds away here for Pyosik. Going to be crazy important for a dragon fight. 4 seconds, and Canyon is ready just to start it. I don't know whether DRX even have vision in the area, as now Canyon moving on down, walks over a control ward. Chovy not going to be caught out of position just yet. Oh, this vision here, the DRX that I missed, is going to die in full vision of DAMWON.
That was really awkward. That was the, he had 3 out of 3 wards. Did Keria, he placed it down and removed one, and then that one he placed down got removed too.
Oh no.
That's a nice amount of poking though onto BeryL.
Yep, takes a fair bit, as now Doran forced to use his ultimate. Very bad news for this ensuing fight, as now BeryL's going to get Fates called. Good gold card from ShowMaker. In the meantime, BeryL going for the re-engage. And not going to find the stun there onto Deft. He's already down to half health though, as now Doran's trying to get into the fight. Remember, doesn't have ultimate. And that is a big deal. Nuguri waiting off to the side, looking for the flanking play. As the first Infernal Drake has been started here by Canyon, and it looks like DRX is struggling to find their way in to this fight. Half health on the Dragon. Sand Soldiers being set up. Q lands onto Pyosik. As DRX, they want to make this a 50-50 as Canyon gets a great kick into the backline. Good Devour comes out. Deft is going to be safe for the moment. As there's the Emperor's Divide. Chovy trying to find one back. The Drake is taken by DAMWON. But there's only a 1-for-2 so far in favor of DRX. Nuguri trying to fight against 3 people. Pyosik in trouble. Nuguri gets underneath his turret. Technically, it is a fight win for DRX, but that Drake is so big for DAMWON.
Every single Infernal Drake is so massive for both teams in this one, so the value is even higher. We were talking about yesterday, it's even kind of double value for the TF, who is auto-attacking so much. You have so many members on your side that can scale up and do tons of damage as the game comes along. The Camille, the Kalista, even the Lee Sin. As I'm not sure about these streets, Canyon is nearby, but they're not going to quite go for it. And the same thing on DRX. I mean, Azir Aphelios needs no introduction. They would love, love every single Infernal Drake if they could just get them. And you have to wonder who wins out in this trade. I think it is the Infernal, even though the kills did mostly go over to the side of DRX. This is a very questionable start by ShowMaker with the red card, but he commits to it because he does have the stopwatch, but he was too low to actually, get out of there afterwards. So ends up just being taken out by Doran, who is slowly clawing his way back with some extra kills.
Tell you what, it would have been cool if the Wukong had his ultimate though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate timing on that particular fight if you are a DRX fan, but really good that DAMWON forced the issue, understanding that that cooldown was going to be very important at that particular moment in time. Both AD carries on about the same clip when it comes to their first 2 item completions. You can see Deft with a bunch more money. Extra Crit Cloak is done. A couple of control wards there as well, and has more expensive items in the Infinity Edge. He's going to be doing a lot. Chovy parks himself towards this turret. Q is going to land. Now Doran, still, I just feel like he's underneath turrets all the time, and it's scary. If you're a DRX fan. Stopwatch completed here for Nuguri. Has a Death Stance as well. He is mega uber far ahead of the Wukong.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Mega uber?
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
Unbelievably largely is probably the one I would have used, but there's very many ways to say it, and he's just going to take a free turret here. And the clock is ticking for both teams in a way. Like eventually Azir Aphelios is going to get so insane that I think, in terms of scaling, that DRX have the win there, but also the clock is ticking in the side lanes. You know, how much are you willing to give up against the Camille? How far is she going to get ahead? And eventually, ShowMaker's going to start joining her on the split push, which we've seen a lot of, and that's why we were calling for the Camille alongside TF very early on and was very curious about the Renekton ban. But this is the spot that we are in as DRX is either hanging around the Baron, maybe trying to start some kind of shenanigans here.
Yeah, 65 CS advantage here for Nuguri. Feels like it's only extending as this game goes on. Camille is extraordinarily big. You can see that DRX were trying to get vision control around the Baron. Because, of course, if you see a split pusher, then you start an objective that they can't let you take, and hope that they don't destroy your base while you're trying to take it. Is often the question, as Nuguri almost gets that hookshot onto Keria, does flash his way out, and the TF comes through. Immediate cleanse, but the knock-up is pretty good there. Double teleport to follow up. Here from DRX, 1 minute away from this Infernal Drake, and 2 teleports now on cooldown is gigantic for DAMWON's split push.
Keep in mind that Nuguri kept his because he started the fight straight up. He's also level 16. This guy is kind of ramping out of control right now. And eventually, you know, Doran, if he wants to try to start fights with his team, he's going to have to be there. He can't teleport into them. But also, if he wants to try to stay in the lane to stop Nuguri, Nuguri could potentially TP away and start a 5v4. So DRX, I think, are going to have to hold on here for a good 5-6 minutes and wait for those cooldowns to come back. But we do have the Infernal Drake. Let's see how this one does go, as BeryL's going to get caught.
Yeah, possibly caught out of position. There's the Emperor's Divide that they're going to invest very early on in this fight. Good Zenith play to try and get him out, but it's not going to be enough, as now ShowMaker throws down the exhaust onto Pyosik. He's trying to barrel towards this Twisted Fate. Deft now with the onslaught, picks up this minion wave, and with 12 seconds to go, DAMWON have decided the Baron is where they want to go. Oh, Deft is going to spot it out. That was actually really smart from DRX to make sure that they're not going to be able to grab that one for free. I believe Doran is just going to head over. No, he's not going to start the Infernal Drake. Does walk back to it, so there we go. It is on vision. BeryL is going to be dead for another 5 seconds, and Nuguri is on the top side of the map. So it looks like this Infernal Drake is going to go to DRX.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot here for DRX, actually. Well, let's see the 1v2.
Yep, Deft is trying to get that damage in. A few extra autos, but they're not going to push too far forward. And Infernal is secured, so DRX turning it around just a little bit, and this is much closer than our other 2 games. Oh my god. Speaking of close.
Man, he probably could have at least forced the flash over the wall there with Kalista nearby, but Doran getting out by the skin of his teeth, just barely. And that's all really nice news here for DRX because they're able to scale up with this Infernal. We're getting, you know, pretty late in this game. We're getting to 27 minutes now, and their 2 carriers are getting some big items alongside of that hurdle. Yeah.
He's 4,000 gold ahead. How the heck? How are how are DRX still within like 2,000 gold of DAMWON? If that's happening, and there's a Twisted Fate. It's nutty. I think the 40 CS lead that Chovy has might have something to do with it.
Yeah, and all the kills that Deft has been able to pick up.
Yep.
I think that 80 carry difference is probably real in terms of the gold. Nuguri, he hasn't really been able to make a big, you know, dent in the structures just yet. You know, he hasn't taken out an inhibitor. He hasn't even taken out an inhibitor turret. The top lane has been looking good for split pushes, but because they're fighting around the Baron, it's very easy for DRX to defend that lane, which is why Nuguri is down here in the bottom lane with teleport advantage. They're really trying to force the issue in the bottom side.
Well, we're going to zoom all the way out. We're watching Ghost make his way back from base. That's why DRX have started this. Teleport to come through from Nuguri. And DRX just wanted to get that cooldown if they could. ShowMaker. Oh, the flash out from BeryL. Looks like they may have thought that they've caught him here, but Canyon's going to jump in. There's the kickback onto Deft, but Chovy just deletes the Lee Sin. Fate's call here from Ghost. Can they get enough sticks into the members of DRX? feels like they're just too tanky at the minute, though, and the Cyclone is good onto ShowMaker. Nuguri picks off the Tahm. Kench, Deft still alive for the minute. BeryL trying to come back in. Deft taken out by the Camille. Can she just win this fight on her own? Is this a 1 versus 3 pentakill? It could potentially be. Right now, as the flash comes out, not going to find the stun. And Nuguri, that was the one mistake you couldn't make, my friend. And DRX are going to be able to grab the ace. And at least the outer turret in mid lane, but maybe just the Baron.
Yep, that's the fight that DRX was looking for. Once again, BeryL gets caught in the front. They're able to pretty much remove him. He gets so low that he's not really able to get any, follow-up stuns afterwards. And it was a 5v5. This is where DRX, we were talking about, this is where they are going to have a much better time against DAMWON. So they take a bunch of kills, they get the Baron, and now they're in a great spot in this game. Yes, Nuguri's getting out of control, but who cares if you keep winning fights like these that DAMWON are handshaking on and saying, yes, I would like to fight you. Canyon on Lee Sin is doing less than 0 right now. he got a kick and died. I mean, the kick did no damage, and it didn't knock anybody up. So that, the Lee Sin isn't a champion right now. BeryL actually eventually does a tiny bit to try to save Ghosts, but he goes down. And then Nuguri's like, I am kind of out of control, strong. Maybe I should try to salvage it, but it was a mistake in the end.
Well, the Baron now on DRX. Deft very far forward. Empress Divide from Chovy into the back line. He is going to die, but he grabs 2 for his trouble. And Deft is doing so much damage. Comes out of the death chamber and is able to pick up the mantle that Chovy put down. I love that. Going for that aggressive play, understanding that you can make it worth your while. And DRX continue pushing forward already. 2.5k is the Baron power play. Nuguri still is very scary. Canyon looking for a cheeky little kick, but doesn't have it available just yet. Does have flash, so when Dragon Rage is back off cooldown, it is going to be very scary, but DAMWON just don't feel like they're capable of getting in here. And Nuguri, well, he's decided that he wants to, but there's just too much CC. Goes into that GA very, very easily. You can see Canyon and ShowMaker, they're just standing off to the side saying, man, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, and they're just going to try to go for the ends here. I don't know about that, Keria.
That was an odd move, but he's still alive, baiting them with that gray health, and now it's time for 200 years. We thought we were going to see it in the last game, but we had to wait a little while. Don't know how many years that was, but we're not waiting too much longer for the end of this game. ShowMaker wants to work some magic, but he's not going to be able to, and DRX redeem themselves with the 2-1 victory.